You know that crystal clear radio signal you hear in your car? Ever wonder where it actually begins? It's not in those massive power amplifiers or up on the towering antenna. Nope. It all starts in a small, pretty unassuming box that acts as the digital heart of the entire operation. So today, we're diving into the exciter, the real unsung hero of modern broadcast. All right, just a quick heads up, this is part 20 of our 40-part series on modern broadcast transmission, brought to you by Virtualization Options LLC. We're going to be digging into the key ideas from this chapter. And it all comes down to this simple idea. Every single broadcast signal, whether it's your favorite song or the morning news, it all starts with a single, perfect digital heartbeat. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. So let's get right into it, shall we? What exactly is this thing we're calling the transmitter's digital heart? Well, think of it this way. If the big power amplifier is all the muscle, the exciter is the brain and the heart, all rolled into one. It's where all the magic really begins. It takes the audio from the studio and meticulously, mathematically crafts the final, perfect modulated RF signal. Now, it's a very low power signal, maybe just a few watts, but it has to be absolutely flawless, because everything that comes after it just makes it louder. So how does this digital heart actually pump out that perfect signal? Let's peel back the cover and see how it gets that audio all the way to the airwaves. Okay, now this diagram might look a little complex at first glance, but don't worry, the concept is simple. Over on the left, you've got your inputs. All that stuff goes through the exciter in the middle, and what comes out on the right is that pristine RF signal, ready to be amplified. We're about to break down the most important steps. Really, it breaks down into about 5 key stages. First up, the audio comes in. Then it hits the DSP, the digital signal processor, which is the real brain of the operation, doing all the heavy lifting. Next, something called direct digital synthesis, or DDS, creates the carrier frequency with just unbelievable precision. After that, the now perfect digital signal gets converted back to an analog RF signal, and finally, a small internal amp gives it a little boost to its final output power. Now, the most important phrase on this slide is purely through computation. This is the whole game changer right here. See, unlike the old analog gear that used physical circuits that would drift with heat and age, a modern exciter does everything with pure math. It achieves a level of perfection and stability that was just, well, it was literally impossible before. But you know, creating that perfect signal is only half the story. The exciter's brain, that DSP we just talked about, is also in charge of intelligently packing that signal with all kinds of extra data. I mean, just look at everything it's doing. It's not just passing audio along. It's creating that wide FM stereo image you hear. It's encoding the RDS data, you know, the artist and song title that pops up on your car radio. And it's even integrating the digital sidebands for HD radio. All of these incredibly complex tasks are just handled by software right inside that one box. And all of this digital processing, well, it leads to this really fascinating convergence. These modern exciters have started to look surprisingly familiar to anyone who comes from an IT background. This is where the world of broadcast engineering truly meets the world of IT. This comparison really says it all, doesn't it? The old analog world was all about physical knobs, tweaking things with screwdrivers and components that would drift over time. The modern digital exciter, it's rock-solid stable, we're talking 1 part per billion, and you control it through a web browser, just like you'd configure a network switch. It's a whole new world. And just look at the connectivity. You've got professional digital audio inputs. You've got Ethernet for both IP audio and control, GPS inputs for hyper-precise frequency syncing, even automatic input failover. Seriously, if you've ever managed servers or network gear, the back of one of these things is going to feel just like home. And this, right here, is the ultimate parallel. Think about it. A core piece of a massive broadcast transmitter can now get brand new features, performance boosts, and bug fixes through a simple software update. No soldering iron, no ripping out hardware. This is the software-defined world of IT living right at the heart of modern broadcasting. So let's bring it all home. Why is this digital evolution so incredibly important? Why does it matter so much? At the end of the day, it all boils down to these 5 huge benefits. You get way better audio quality because the signal is born perfect. You get rock-solid reliability that never ever drifts. The software gives you flexibility that engineers a generation ago could only dream of. And of course, the IP-based control and simplified maintenance just make the broadcast engineer's life so much easier. All of this leads us to one final, really fascinating question. We've watched the heart of the transmitter transform from a tangled mess of analog circuits into something that looks and acts just like an IT server. So, as that convergence continues, what do you think is the next big leap for broadcasting?